Okay, I've wanted to make this video for about a week and a half now, and one interruption after another, and then came up the big debacle with Milo Yiannopoulos and what he said on YouTube well over a year ago. And I thought to myself, hey, make a video? Sure, why not? What the heck could go wrong? So, with that, let's move forward. Also, I just had to pick doing a response video on one of the more popular YouTubers out there, Stefan Molyneux. He's the gentleman you see on screen, and oh my God, just look at that brain. I mean, it's like his brain is eating his hair right off of his head. This guy is smart. I've watched him many times, and I can say that I've agreed with the large bulk of whatever he's said in every video he's ever made. And that's probably why this particular video pissed me off as much as it did. And I'm sick of watching it. I've had to go through it several times now, jotted down little notes of what I wanted to say, and finally I just threw my notepad away. And I think the only way to do it is to get on with it and do it to it. I will say that this video, it is entitled Why Bombing Hiroshima Was Unjustified. And that addressing that issue is going to be a sub-point. The greater point that I am going to argue, that I am going to put forth, is that Stefan is a modern-day philosopher by his own self-description, and he fancies himself quite a debater and a persuader of people on a wide variety of topics. And I think he's done a great job. In fact, my wanting to do a YouTube video, I spent many hours watching and marveling over his skills. As I've also watched Sargon of Akkad, Noel Plum, another one of my favored YouTubers out there. And I would like to say that it's through these gentlemen and a few young ladies in the YouTube community who have taught me some valuable skills in debating and just on social topics in general. So with that being said, let's jump into this video, and we're going to go ahead and start this right here.
In one of your YouTube videos, I believe you called the use of nuclear arms by the United States in World War II unjustified. Although I may be mistaken, either way, do you believe that this action was morally correct and/or the best choice available to the United States government, and is there a difference between these two things? That's from Colin.
Hey, Colin, how you doing tonight?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Cool.
So, what did you do, just out of curiosity, when you heard about my statement regarding nuclear weapons at the end of Second World War? Did you look anything up? What did you research? Where did it lead you?
Right there, already my hackles are a little bit raised, or at least my my Spidey alert has gone off. It's warning me of danger. Danger ahead, young Will Robinson. Just in the way that he phrased that, it's almost the assumptive accusation that you couldn't possibly have done enough research on this to go to toe-to-toe with me on it. There's absolutely got to be some error in your thinking if you're disagreeing with me. And you know, this is literally the first statement out of his mouth is kind of putting this guy on guard, and again goes a little bit counter to what I would consider the the charity in philosophical debate. But let's hear what the young man has to say.
Well, what I heard that initially, and I had remembered a while ago, I had done a school project on it. One of our assignments in the history class was to debate. And in that, I had a lot of the research. And so I had familiarized myself a lot with the topic before, but I looked up back into like the sort of both what the effects of the bombing were. I looked into what the proposed alternatives were, what the possibilities of what it could happen if we didn't, and that sort of thing. And then once I had done that, I wrote into the show to talk to you about it.
So this guy has taken a multi-dimensional approach to answering, educating himself on the topic. He's looked at many different issues surrounding it because, yeah, you can ask that question on a moral basis, look at it from a logistic basis, look at it from the standpoint of world affairs. How did it change history? What would have happened if we had not dropped the bomb? You know, so he's given a pretty concise answer and is obviously, again, read up on the topic. Now, this is, of course, answering Stefan's so wide open, generalized. So, what did you do? Give me a core dump of everything that's going on in your brain so that if you don't cover everything, I can zone in on those items that you didn't specifically answer. And let's watch him do just exactly that.
Okay, so you've described to me the form. I guess I was more interested in the content of what you came up with. So
this is one more. Oh, no, not just the form, even though he said exactly what some of the topics, I'm going to say, hashtag not all. He didn't completely describe everything that he ever learned about it. Otherwise, this segment would probably be, 4 or 5 hours long. And no, you got it wrong, young man. That isn't what I'm asking. Now he goes to an even broader context of, that's just the form of how you went about getting it. No, I want you to give me everything that you know on the topic. Let's listen.
in your research, why did Japan attack America at Pearl Harbor?
Pearl Harbor, that was a preeminent strike, I believe.
Preemptive, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Preemptive, you idiot. Preemptive.
Yes, but why?
But why? Look at you, fucking moron. Let's just start treating this guy again as dog doo-doo just from the get-go. As this is a fair and honest debate, I can not even sense the slightest bit of ad hominem anywhere in the approach that he's taking to this.
Well, their goal was they believed that U.S. intervention was inevitable, so they wanted to take out the United States Navy before we could really rear the full power against them.
No, I understand that they attacked Pearl Harbor and sunk a bunch of ships because they wanted to disable the U.S. Navy. The question is, why did they do that?
I get
Why? And again, this comes up over and over again. And okay, the one thing I'll certainly admit, I will certainly say that the caller, he's a little bit slow on what exactly Stefan is asking for. But again, in that act of charity, that taking a person at their best intention, their best meaning of a statement that you make that could be taken in a variety of ways, you take them at their strongest argument. Let's see how Stefan does that to our young caller over and over again.
I get what you mean now.
Why did they attack the Navy? Because they wanted to harm the Navy. I think let's take that as a given. And why did they want to do it?
And of course, my capture software captured the wrong screen. I think we're on the right one. I wanted to take a moment here to look at what we've been talking about, because again, my primary argument is not on whether or not World War II and dropping the bomb on Hiroshima was justified or not. Mine is on the principle of the tenets of philosophy that Stefan puts forth. Because again, Stefan purports that his channel is the only philosophy-only channel that's been around for whatever X number of years. And he is a modern-day philosopher. Well, let's take a look at one of the main principles of philosophy, that being the philosophy of charity. The principle of charity, methodological, presumption made in seeking to understand a point of view whereby we seek to understand that view in the strongest, most persuasive form, is what that word should be, before subjecting the view to evaluation. Now, after looking at that last video, do you believe that charity was extended to that viewer? While suspending our own beliefs, we seek a sympathetic understanding of the new ideas. I didn't see an awful lot of sympathy. I saw an awful lot of bipolar aggression going on. We assume for the moment the new ideas are true, even though our initial reaction is to disagree. We seek to tolerate ambiguity for the larger aim of understanding ideas which might prove useful and helpful. Is not that the goal of philosophy, is for us to entertain other ideas, to discuss them in an open and fair forum, not the this is my channel, I can do whatever I want kind of thing, which of course you can do, but the moment you take that approach, you no longer, by definition, you no longer have a philosophy channel. Emphasis is placed on seeking to understand rather than on seeking contradiction or difficulties. Like I said, this is a totally bipolar, passive-aggressive assault on the guy who called into his channel. We seek to understand the ideas in their most persuasive form, they get it right here, and actively attempt to resolve contradictions. If more than one point is presented, we choose the one that appears the most cogent. No, he chooses the one that isn't even on the table. He reads into what this guy has to say. Now, if we want examples of how badly he represents this principle of charity, we're going to see it in the next video. And here we go with the second video. Always be nice, fail. No, this is his justification of why being an asshole is the right thing to do. And this one is even, I thought about doing the first video, and then, like I said, the Milo thing came out, and I sort of thought, jumping into the YouTube fray, is that really something I want to do? Fine, I care about these issues. What the hell? I'm going to jump in. And the next thing I know, I see this video come up. I watch about the first 2 minutes of it, and it's like, holy Christ, the guy is literally doubled down on the concept of why being an asshole is somehow being true to the philosophical ideal. And this one, he gets into the meat of he gets into the bullshit of it even faster than he did the last one. So let's take a listen to this one. And again, I am not going to go, yeah, no way. 5-6 minutes is the most we're going to get into this.
Why do you not take a more active stance in telling your listeners about the effectiveness of the virtues of patience and tolerance when conducting a debate with people? This is important because in today's society, we encounter people who argue based on feelings and propaganda, but why should we take what they say so personal? In my own experience, remaining calm when, for example, being called a racist and staying with my argument or maybe presenting it in a different way is more effective for actually changing people's minds than correcting their morality. I know that you have no responsibility over your audience's decisions, but I think it would be smart to show them a more effective way of getting this message of reason and truth across.
Now, what this guy says, I think it is a very fair statement to make, and one that I have found to be true. Me, one of my other avocations is I am a gun rights advocate, and I found that most people have an objection to firearms. It's because they are uneducated. It's not because they're bad people. It's not because they're stupid. I have found that if I calmly, rationally explain to them what the real statistics are, what the real information is, even if they don't agree with me on the spot, because I did not call them an idiot. Because you stop and think about it. You have a discussion with somebody and they are abusive to you. Are you more likely to accept new information from somebody you dislike or for somebody who is at least amenable to listening to your point of view? I would argue for the latter. But here we listen to Stefan.
Fritz.
Fritz, how you doing?
Hello, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. So you think that you're a better persuader than I am when it comes?
No, he did not say that. His argument was, listen, me as a debater, me, Fritz, when I debate, I can either get aggressive and argumentative with a person, or I can be patient and understanding and double down on making factual points. My being a debater being aggressive versus my being a debater being patient and understanding, I'm far more effective doing it. But watch Stefan. He's going to turn around and say, no, what you're saying is your style of being a passive, namby-pamby kind of thing. You're comparing that to me with years and years of experience and being an aggressive ad hominem type debater out there. So he's not even getting the basic premise right. And he's going to throw this guy off center right from the get-go. So let's watch.
Comes to changing people's minds in the world?
No, I don't. But the thing I don't understand is your show is definitely based, or you
No, hang on. See, we have, sorry to interrupt you. We have to start with the facts.
Yeah, no. Well, sorry to interrupt you, but no, I'm going to throw you off center right away and call you out on it from the get-go. You don't even get to establish a premise other than the written one that you had when you called in, where he made it clear. No, when I am an aggressive debater, an abusive debater compared to a patient debater, my personal results is I get a better result by being a patient one. I am not comparing myself to you in any way, shape, or form. And that's what he's saying. No, I don't agree with that. And watch Stefan twist his little dick around and point him in a different direction.
You wrote into me, and I'm not criticizing, I just want to get where we're starting from. You wrote in and you said, in my own experience, remaining calm when, for example, being called a racist and staying with my argument or maybe presenting it in a different way is more effective for actually changing people's minds, right? Now, you mean more effective than what I'm doing, right? Which is fine. I mean, maybe you've got great advice for me, and I'm happy to hear it. But you do believe that what you do is more effective than what I do, right? Because that's what you wrote.
Yes, in short.
No, and he's just kind of tied him up in the guy was saying that my technique is more effective, not me as a debater. I am more effective than, and obviously Stefan has many, many more years of experience in doing this. But now he's got him to shift his position, and he's got his own words that he's going to use as evidence against it. And with that, in him trying to explain his way out of it, he'll get him to flip-flop back and forth about three different times.
If you want to say.
Okay, so see, we already have a problem because you already just denied what you just affirmed. I said to you, so you think you're better at convincing people than I am, and you said, no, I don't believe that. I read you back, and you said,
and no, that wasn't his premise, but let's go on.
Say, okay, yes.
Yeah, well, you definitely have more experience than me, and you're with talking to people and all of that.
No,
But
do you think that I feel like trusting you at the moment when you've just contradicted yourself within 20 seconds of us starting a conversation?
yeah, I mean, it was kind of a messy question.
And he's putting it out there too. Just the way that he phrased it is an issue of trust. We have now impugned that he is not trustworthy. So let's see how many other ad homs we can throw on top of this guy.
I guess.
No, it wasn't messy at all. You said you were better than me at convincing people. You denied it. And then when I confronted you with the evidence,
No, he didn't.
you then backtracked and confirmed. Now, you didn't apologize for getting things wrong and you didn't, right? You just, then how are we supposed to have a conversation?
Oh, and now he needs to apologize. So, we're backing him into the corner. He's untrustworthy, and we've established that he should have apologized, but he didn't.
Like, I sympathize, but I know it can be intimidating or whatever. But if you're too nervous to have any honesty and integrity with me in the moment, I don't know how we're supposed to have a conversation.
And again, you're too nervous to have honesty and integrity. So let's start counting them. He doesn't have honesty. He doesn't have integrity. He's not trustworthy. And essentially, you've lined him up pretty well to be a lying sack of shit. And you know what? We're 4 minutes and 31 seconds into this. I do not plan to go on for another 43 minutes worth of this bullshit. Now, I may update this video because I am going to watch about the last 10 minutes of it and see if there's some miraculous recanting or enlightening point that he makes, but I don't think I'm going to find that in there. So again, my video, this is not so much on whether or not it was justified in dropping the bomb. I think it was. But it is on Stefan himself. This is a big disappointment from me. Again, you look at my other videos. I made 2 other videos. They're paltry, nothing little concept videos out there. This one, I had to get my ass up off the couch and make this one and call this guy out. Look at that expression right there. Hey, I didn't stop this on purpose on that track, but this pretty well summarizes the way that he feels about it. And again, let's take a look at this. Oh, look at this one. 2692, 3,500, almost 3,600 dislikes on it. Again, Stefan, who is your customer? Are you treating them, me, again, in the computer industry? Yeah, I've got the customers out there. Oh, you got the email that says, oh, here, click on this to reset your email path. No, don't do that. I've got a time and a place. I need to be stern with my customers. But do I go out there and bash and berate them, call them untrustworthy, call them, impugn that they are liars? I don't give them a forum. I don't listen to them. And again, the main concept of Stefan Molyneux is this is a philosophy show. Bullshit. This is not a philosophy show. This is the Stefan Molyneux talk show. That's nothing different than Jimmy Kimmel, and I'll watch his videos in the future. I'll support him. I may even donate money to him on Patreon because there's damn good work that he does do. There are outstanding videos that he does put out, but I have no idea why, after the years of these good videos, that Stefan has decided to take this kind of left turn into darkness. That no, I am now so popular out there. And like I said, take a look. Ultimate power corrupts, and all you have to do is ask yourself, hey, all I had to do is treat this guy fairly. All I had to do is say, yeah, I was kind of unfair to him. End of conversation, done. I bet you 1,000 of those dislikes would vanish instantly by saying that. But when you are so filled with your own grandeur, your own self-importance, this is what you wind up getting, is you're going to get flooded with the dislikes. And hopefully people still continue watching him because I think he has important things to say. He makes very, very valid points. He does excellent research. I've fact-checked him on video after video after video, and his research is absolutely meticulous. But this one is a mindset, a point of view that is absolutely wrong, and I'm going to leave it right there. So, hey, if you want to comment on it, there are the comments down below. They're wide open, and like I said, what the heck can happen to me? I'm sure nothing but love and encouragement is coming forth from the internet at large, and we'll think about doing a video at some time in the future. But everyone, you have a great day. Thank you.